Lascancora, at the outset I want to say that I support the principle of a coast-to-coast greenway. But Minister, you and your officials have gone about this all the wrong way. You've taken the wrong approach to it and the wrong attitude to it, and as a result of that you've stopped any progress on this particular project. Minister, I'd like to know why the NRA looked to lands in public ownership between Dublin and the River Shannon, and yet took a completely different attitude once they crossed the River Shannon in relation to both the assessment criteria and the lands to be used for the route.
Thank you. Minister, number 7.
Thank you, Deputy. I can assure the Deputy that I am fully aware of the concerns of the landowners along the currently proposed preferred route of the Dublin to Galway Greenway. In an effort to investigate how these concerns can be allayed and a mutually agreeable solution reached, I and my ministerial colleague Paschal Donoghue met with the Oireachtas members from East Galway, landowners and their representatives, along with representatives of the Galway County Council and the National Roads Authority. At this meeting, it was agreed that members of the project team in Galway County Council should begin a process of engagement with the affected landowners. The objective of the exercise is to seek a better understanding of their concerns and to establish, if it is possible, to identify a broadly acceptable route for the Greenway. This consultation is now underway. Given the number of landowners involved, the process is expected to take up to 3 months. The delivery of this project is a priority for my department in the delivery of a national cycle network for Ireland. The Dublin to Galway Greenway corridor was identified as the ideal corridor to progress the first for a number of reasons, the main being that the extensive route, when completed, would make sense in its own right and also form part of the Euro-Velvo cycle route network, which provides a ready-made branding for the project that will assist in attracting overseas visitors. That aside, it is and always has been the wish of my department to deliver these projects in cooperation and agreement with local communities to ensure that long-term success of initiatives which are delivered with sustainable exchequer investment.
Deputy Denis Naughten.
Can I thank the Minister for his reply? Can I ask you, Minister, how do you intend to get the cyclists from Athlone to Ballinasloe if you're not prepared to engage with either the Oireachtas members or the landowners between Athlone and Ballinasloe? And you might clarify for the record that some Oireachtas members in County Galway have been invited to meetings. But as you know, Minister, at least 2 Oireachtas members where the Greenway is actually going through their own parish have been excluded to date from these discussions. Can I ask you, Minister, why haven't you looked at using the existing public lands that are between Dublin and Galway? The Bordnamona lands, the Quilcha lands, the National Parks and Wildlife lands, the existing public rights-of-way that are currently disused at the moment, and start from that basis to develop the project. And specifically, can I ask you, Minister, regarding the route between Athlone and Ballinasloe, it's my understanding that Bordnamona have refused or are vetoing the use of their lands for this Greenway on the basis that it's in active production. Surely the same applies in relation to farmland.
Minister.
Thank the Deputy. First of all, as far as I'm aware, the elected representatives were invited, and there was a number of them there. And I have to say that that the farmers themselves were invited, and they brought along their representatives as well. In relation to public land, where possible, the state is going to use public lands. We're going to use Quilcha land, and we're also going to use the Bordnamona land. And particularly at the Galway end of it, that's where the difficulty is. There's 809 farmers involved. There'll be 6 officials from Galway County Council who are going to sit down and call to every single one of these farms and see, can we get agreement? If we can get a majority of the people to actually agree. And I was glad to hear you saying that you're supportive of the Greenways. In my own county, and I was very much involved in relation to the negotiations with farmers, and of course you're right, we have to talk to farmers, we have to bring the farmers on board, and where possible we have to accommodate them where possible. So what we're doing now, we have the process in place. It will take 3 months. There's 6 officials from the County Council are going to meet every landowner in the area and to see what agreement we have before we progress this any further.
Deputy Denis Naughten.
First of all, Minister, not all of the Oireachtas members were invited, and I'm sure if the Chair was free to speak, he could clarify that for himself. Secondly, you cannot get to County Galway unless you actually engage with the landowners in County Roscommon in the first place? Or do the officials in the department need a lesson in geography? Thirdly, Minister, it is possible, by using Bordnamona lands, by using existing disused rights-of-way, and by having a segregated route between Ballinasloe and Aughrim on the old N6, to actually bring the Greenway without any disruption of farmland as far as there. And yet that has not been given the consideration it should be given. Now, can I ask you again, Minister, what is the situation in relation to Bordnamona? Have they vetoed access to their lands on the basis of active production? And if the rule applies for Bordnamona, it should also apply for farmland.
Thank you, Deputy Minister, to conclude.
Very much. Look, Fáilte Ireland has assessed this line, and they've taken the line that's there now. It's the most scenic and most beautiful to bring people into. Now, state land, I've made it quite clear to you, any state land that's available, where suitable, will be looked at. And what we're going to now, we're going to look at all options now. And look at Minister Dunno and I have a very serious problem. We have people from all over the country every single day looking for money for greenways in my own county and every other county. Everybody is looking for them now. We want to implement this, but we want to implement it with the goodwill of the farmers and the landlords in the area, and we will have to do that. That's why. That's why, well, of course, we're speaking to everybody, and we will speak to everybody. Look, you can't be saying in one hand, I'm in favour of it, and the other hand then putting every obstacle in. We are going to sit down with the farmers. We do need their cooperation, and again, I speak as somebody that knows about greenways and knows how to deal with farmers, because we did it in the west of Ireland, and without the farmers, it would not happen.
Thank you,
and
Minister.
I put that on the record. It would not happen without their goodwill, their cooperation, and we're going to sit down with these farmers, work with them, see what can we get their cooperation, and then we'll adjudicate after that.
Thank you.